Who can remember the rule about stress on the word if it's a noun and where we put the stress if it's a verb?
The noun is put a thread the first syllable, and the verb we put the thread in second syllable.
Okay, good. Okay, Lucia, can you say that? Do you remember where to put the stress?
Yeah, the pronunciation of each word, the sound.
Yes. So where do we put the stress?
This it sounds, the stress is the sound on the syllable that is strong.
Yes, and so if we have a word that has two syllables, do we put the stress on the first syllable or the second syllable?
And the second syllable.
Okay, on the second one. So for which one, the verb or the noun?
For the verb.
Good. The verb has stress on the second syllable. That's correct. Because do you remember my little rule to help you? If it's a noun, the stress goes on the first syllable. If you have a verb, the stress goes on the second syllable because in comes first in the alphabet. V comes after that in the alphabet. So if you could remember your ABCs, it will help you remember where to put the stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have the word contrast, oh, that would be the verb. If I have the word contrast, that's the noun. So we put the stress on the first syllable. Okay, if I have the verb contrast is a verb, and I put the stress on the second syllable. Okay, is everybody clear with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's practice. I want you ladies to take turns. So Lan, you can do the first one right here, and Lucia, you can pick anyone actually, but Lan, you go first, and then Lucia, I want you to pick one also after Lan. And here is a question and a sentence to help you if you want to say it in a question. So Lan, go ahead and just pick one and say the noun and say the verb.
Now, recall, verb, record.
There we go. Oh, that's hard, right? Record. Record is the noun. Okay? And what about the verb?
Record. Now it's recall. Right?
Okay.
And
Actually, it's tricky.
record.
The noun is record. The
is
verb
record.
is record.
The verb, yeah.
Record. We pronounce the E differently. So the noun is record. The verb is record.
Record.
Okay, so Lucia, repeat after me. Record
Record.
and record.
Record.
Good. So record is the noun, record is the verb.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lan, I want you to ask this question and I want you to put record as the noun and then say the sentence on the bottom with verb form. Have you seen, Lan?
Yeah. Have you seen record?
Have you seen the record?
Have you seen record? Have you seen the record?
Good. Good job. Okay, now Lan, try the verb.
Please don't recall now. Recall
Good.
now.
Yes. Good. So a record is something that's kept from the past, and record means to keep your. You guys know what record means.
Yes.
I'm recording this video right
Yeah.
now. Okay, so if you go to a library, you can see a record of the history of genealogies and family histories. They keep a record. If you go to the courthouse, they have a record of marriages, births, and deaths. So that's record, the noun, and record is the verb. All right, that was a good practice. Okay, Lucia, it's your turn. You can pick any of these from the middle here and say the noun and then say the verb.
Okay. Contest. Contest.
Okay, this one, right?
Yeah. Contest.
Contest is the noun. And then what about the verb? Uh-oh, we lost you, Lucia. We can't hear you. Nope.
I'm sorry, teacher. Okay. It's contest as a noun. Contest verb.
Good. Contest is a noun. Like I could say, did you win the contest? Okay, that's a noun. And then I have contest as a verb. To contest something means that you argue against it. You go against. So you can contest a speeding ticket in court. Okay, so contest does not have the same kind of meaning as a contest. Okay, so I don't say, oh, today I'm going to play a soccer game. I'm going to contest the other team, or at school, I'm going to contest to see if I can win something. We don't use contest in the same way that we use a contest. But anyways, you guys can look at the definitions later. We're focusing on pronunciation. So the noun, contest, the verb, test. Okay, Lan, can you say contest?
Contest.
Good. And then the verb contest.
Contest.
Good. Okay, so Lucia, I want you to practice here with these. Have you seen the?
Have you seen the contest?
Yeah, have you seen the contest? Good. And then the verb, please.
Please don't contest now.
Okay, good. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Feel pretty comfortable with these?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me just go through really quickly and we'll go ahead and do all of these just so you know. Okay, so repeat after me. Record,
Record.
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 Okay, good. I'm doing the noun first and then the verb. Repeat after me. Export,
Export.
and export. Wait. Export.
Export.
Did you bring the export? Going to export. Yeah, export. Okay, next one. Conflict.
Conflict.
And then the verb,
Conflict.
Good. Okay. Contest.
Contest.
And Lon, I can't hear you. Are you saying it? And say the second one, contest.
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 Good. Okay. Let's do the noun, rebel.
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 And then the verb, rebel.
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 Rebel. Rebel.
My children rebel against me sometimes. Okay, that's the verb. And the last one, contrast.
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 Okay, good. This is fun practice. Did you guys see the videos that I posted? Did anybody watch the videos?
Of this time? No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I posted some videos with the pronunciation. They kind of give you some help and some tricks to do it correctly. Did you watch it, Lon?
Not yet, teacher.
Okay. It's there in our chapter 3 folder at the very beginning. Okay, so class, let's check the answers to the book. And then we're going to do a couple more pages in our book today. Okay, so the homework was page 62 to 64. And I'm making sure I have the right page here. I believe this is it. Yes, 62 to 64. So I'm going to show you on this screen where that section is. Okay, so on the top left of your screen, you can click on the zoom in. So you can zoom in the little magnifying glass with the plus, and you can see these better if you look closer. So exercise 1 on page 62. I believe we did this one. Yeah, we did this one in class, but just so you know, there's the answers there in case you didn't get it. Let's go to exercise 2 at the bottom of page 62. So Lon, what did you put for number 1 in exercise 2?
Number 1. The first one, the noun,
Good.
record.
Yes. Record. Good. So the stress is on the RE. We need to underline the RE. And number 1. Okay. Number 2, Lucia.
Teacher, what page?
We're on page 62 at the bottom.
62. Oh, okay. Exercise number 2. Listen and circle the stress. Oh, okay.
And number 2, a machine called a black box.
Okay, a machine called a black box records everything that the pilot and co-pilot does. Okay.
Do we say record or record?
Record.
Yes, record. So under RDS.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, we need to underline the PER. That's the stressed part. Permit. Permit. Oh yeah, I said it wrong the first time. They don't permit. Hey, I say it like permit. Yeah, wait, they don't permit. You know what? I think this answer key is wrong here. I think this one is wrong. Because this number 3, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the verb. I was looking at the number 4. Yes, so number 3,
noun.
permit. Number 3, underline MIT.
Yes.
Yes, permit.
This is a verb. This is a verb at number 3. So we say it permit. Okay, number 4, a parking permit. We underline the PR in number 4.
Yeah.
Permit. Okay, a parking permit. Okay, good. And let's go to number 5. Presents. Presents. We need to underline
Present.
the SENTS. Presents.
Present.
Number 6, a birthday present. That's a noun. We underline the PRE in number 6. Hey.
Receive a new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, teacher.
No question.
Okay. Doing good. Let's double check all of our vocabulary words. Yes, I gave you the answers in class.
Yes.
But just so you can double check, for exercise 4, the answers are extreme, and then compare, and then crash, and avoid, and then cure, and then consist of. Scared is number 7. And the last one, safety. Okay, and let's go to exercise 6. You guys did the listening portion, I hope. So number 1, exercise 6. Number 1, B, the fear of flying and how to reduce it. Okay. Number 2 is A. Number 3, A. And number 4A. Any questions on that part? Did anybody miss any?
No.
I did this one, but I feel like little bit difficult than before.
Number 4?
No, the exercises is a little bit
Oh.
difficult than another one we learned it before.
Okay, so maybe as we go
Yeah.
through the book. Okay,
Yes, that's telling me.
Lon, I know you're really good with grammar and you're good with sentence structure and you know a lot of words. I know listening is kind of a challenge for you. So I want to give you a resource that might help you. If you look in the back,
Oh yeah.
do you know that there's the audio script?
I try to don't look at the script.
Okay, you try to not look at the script.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you guys are interested, just for anybody who's watching the video, you can look back on page 201, and you can see the words for every audio. So you can actually listen and read at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and this can be
Thank you.
helpful, and we want to improve our listening, but it takes time. We can't just do that in 2 weeks, you know. So you can do things to help yourself. Maybe the first time you can listen without looking back, and then maybe the second time you go back and look. And so it will help you with catching those words that you weren't able to catch just by listening. Okay, so I do recommend that. And actually, if we were in class, if we were actually in the classroom, what I like to do is copy the page, and then I mark out so you can't see it, and then we listen in class, and you would actually try to listen for that word that I crossed out. It's a really good listening activity for details. But we're not in class, so that's I can't really give you that copy of the paper. So Anyways, it's back there if you guys need it. Let's continue on. Exercise 7, page 64. Exercise 7 on page 64. Lucia, what did you put for number 1?
I didn't this part, teacher, but I can try. Isn't
No,
the
this is
exercise
a
number
listening. It's okay. This is just
after?
a listening comprehension. What you put, Lan, what did you put?
I put reduce.
Yeah, that's correct. So number 1 is reduced, number 2 engine, number 3 wings, number 4 normal, number 5 damaged, number 6 avoid, 7
Mhm.
flying, and 8 driving.
Right.
Okay, that was the listening comprehension. See how much
Okay.
you put into that one. That's a good practice for you guys too. Okay, and the last one I wanted you guys to do was the top of page 65. This is just your own opinion. So let me see what you guys think. It said, read the list of tips on how to deal with and control a fear of flying. How useful do you think each tip is? So they give you a little box. I guess they want you to rate it, like from 1 to most useful or helpful, and all the way down to the least useful or helpful. So what did you guys think from these 6 things? Which one is the most helpful to help you not be scared of flying?
Number 1, learn how airplanes work.
Okay, so so Lon, you want to learn about the physics of the air drag and speed, mass, acceleration, the wingspan, how the engine works, all of that.
Yes.
That you think that would help you so you could be confident?
I agree with Lan. Yes.
Okay. Well, for me, that's interesting because for 3, I would take just something to help me relax, like maybe a Benadryl, something to kind of keep. I never sleep on planes. I never sleep in cars. I just can't.
Oh.
But I might take something just to kind of relax me. Um,
Yeah.
and I think number four is something that I do naturally when I fly. I look around for the exits. And I imagine, okay, if there's an emergency, where do I need to go? And the airline staff, they usually explain what to do in an emergency, right?
Yeah.
So I just think about that stuff. Where's my oxygen mask? Where's the float in case we're in the water? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
So for me,
good. Yeah.
yeah, for me it's 3 and 4, but I guess everybody's a little different.
Yep, I'm different because I can sleep everywhere. In the flies, wow, I sleep a lot. Sleep and eat and sleep and eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you came from Vietnam, did you just sleep
Yeah.
all the time?
Yeah. 30 hours. Just sleep and eat.
Yeah.
14
Sleep, eat.
hours?
Yes.
Wow.
13
Because
or 30?
30s. 30.
Wow. That's
Ah,
more than
30.
Not in flight. Sometimes I transportation about 3 hours, 4 hours. But I have 3 flights.
yeah, three different flights.
Yeah, 3 different
Wow.
flights.
Yeah. Yeah, Vietnam is really far from here. It's on the other side of the planet.
Yes. Wow.
Like I'm lucky because I can sleep everywhere.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yes.
Okay, well, today we're going to talk about fears, different fears. It's kind of funny that the chapters of transportation, but they're focusing a lot on fears, which I think is funny because actually not a lot of people are that afraid of flying in transportation. But anyways, we'll look in a moment at some different fears and talk about how to deal with them. But I want to talk about rhetorical questions. Let's talk about rhetorical questions for a minute.
I already read the concept. Rhetorical questions are not the same as real questions. They are used to bring the listener's attention to a topic or an idea. The speaker does not expect an answer to the question. Rhetorical questions, you continue speaking. Regular questions, you stop speaking and wait for an answer.
Okay, so can you explain it in your own word? Like, what's the difference to you?
Rhetorical is when we don't expect that the person answer us, and a regular question is, for example, when I ask you, hey, did you do your homework?
Yeah.
And I stop until you answer.
Okay, so this is something we might do a lot when we're talking to people, and I don't know if you recognize that you do it or recognize that other people are doing it, but I do this a lot as a teacher. I would say, okay, so class, what can you do at TCC? You can take ESOL classes or ESL. So you see right there at the beginning, I asked a question, but I immediately answered it myself, right?
Yeah.
I didn't wait and say, okay, Lon, what can you do? Okay, Lucia, what can you do? I didn't wait for you guys to answer. I just kept going.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an example of a rhetorical question. It's a question that you ask, but you do not wait for a response.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
So,
I can feel the one yesterday until now.
yes, yes.
It's not an easy thing, but I'm thinking very hard.
You're thinking too hard.
Yes.
Right, and that's why I wanted to talk about it in class. I didn't want to
Yeah.
give you homework because it's kind of hard to understand because we always think if there's a question, then we need to answer it. But in natural way of speaking, we don't always expect an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you know if something is going to be a rhetorical question or a regular question? If how do you know?
They ask me and then I answer. They don't let me answer.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, usually there's a pause, like everybody's quiet for a minute, and then if the pause continues for more than 20 seconds, then you can know, oh, this is a real question. I need to answer it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious to know, do you guys do these in your own talking? Do you use rhetorical questions or not?
I think sometimes I need to use rhetorical question.
Sometimes you do it.
Yeah. Because I want the people listen to me. They know that important thing I want to add and answer.
Okay, that's a good point. So a rhetorical question is a good way to ask your listener to focus on
Yeah.
Okay, good. What about you, Lucia? This is a real question. It's not rhetorical.
Yes, I think
I mean, do you use these when you're talking?
well, sometimes uh, yes, I think I use this kind of questions.
Okay, maybe from now on we can start to think about, are we using these or not? I use these mostly when I'm teaching. I don't use it all the time at home or with my friends, but when I'm giving information, when I'm teaching, I want students to focus on things that I'm saying, and I also want to identify with students, so I ask them a question that I think they're probably already asking. That's how we use rhetorical questions. It's something that we ask because we feel like those listeners want to have that answer anyways. So it's like we're asking and answering it for them. So let's do a little practice with this. This is going to be kind of fun, I think. Look at the bottom of page 65.
Mhm.
And I want us to listen to this together here in class. And you guys are going to check if you think this is a real question or a rhetorical question. And I think you guys will be able to hear this. Let me know if you can hear this.
Have you ever been afraid of flying?
Yes, I hear.
You hear it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm never quite sure what happens, so that's why I always ask you. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen, and then when you hear the question, I want you to check if you think that's a real question or rhetorical.
Okay.
So we can look at real examples here. Here we go.
Have you ever been afraid of flying? Do you feel scared when you sit on a plane? Are you stressed when there's turbulence? If so, you may have aerophobia. The word aerophobia comes from the Greek, and it consists of two parts: aero, which means flight or air, and phobia, which means fear. People with aerophobia experience or panic when they sit on a plane. In today's program, we'll discuss some steps that you can take to reduce this fear. Today is Mark Noling. Mark used to be a flight attendant who was afraid of flying. He has written a book about his experience and often gives presentations to help other people deal with their phobias. Can you tell us more about your experience, Mark? Yes, sure. Flight attendant's course right after college. My goal was to see the world, and I thought it would be a good job for me. I learned a lot more than I expected from the course. During the training, we studied a lot about air safety, but there were also lectures about plane crashes. The instructors would tell us horrible stories of serious problems: broken engines, birds hitting the aircraft, hijackings, and even stories of planes crashing in the middle of the desert or in the ocean. That's terrible. No, I don't think so. They were trying to make us take the job seriously. They would also discuss the research done by air crash investigators to help us understand the reasons behind air crashes. There's a detailed record of each crash, which investigators check carefully. But for you, I suppose this training had the opposite effect. How did it influence you? Did it make you afraid of flying? Uh-huh. The course had a strong impact on me. I actually became very scared of being on a plane. When I told my colleagues about it, they just laughed. They couldn't believe that I had completed the flight attendant training, and now I was afraid to get on a plane. What was I supposed to do? I decided to research it online, and I read stories about people who managed to control their fear of flying. Can it be cured? Actually, like any phobia, there's not always a cure for it, but you can decrease its effects on your life.
Okay, those were all the questions there. Did you guys catch all of those? There were 7. There were 7 questions there. So let's see what you guys got. For number 1, did you check real or rhetorical?
Rhetorical.
Yes, that one was rhetorical. Notice he just kept asking. Have you ever been afraid of flying? Do you feel scared when you sit on a plane? Are you stressed? So these were all the number 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, and 3 were rhetorical. Okay. And okay, Lon, what about number 4? Okay, Lon.
It's a real teacher. I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
turn on microphone.
that's okay. That's okay. So number 4 is, and
Yeah.
Lucia, what about number 5?
Real question.
Yes, real question. Okay, either one of you, what
It's also real question. It was also a real question.
No, rhetorical. Yeah,
it was
number 6,
rhetorical.
rhetorical, yes. And
Ooh.
number 7 is rhetorical too.
Number 7 was real.
It's real.
Okay, so it got kind of tricky at the end there. Let me remind you of how they were talking. Mark was saying that he said, I took the training, and after the training, I felt really scared about flying, but what was I supposed to do? I already completed the training. He just kept talking.
Yeah.
After number 6. What was I supposed to do? I already completed the training. So that was a rhetorical question for number 6. Because he did not pause and wait for the interviewer to answer his question. Okay. And number 7 is when not Mark. Number 7 was the interviewer. He asked Mark, well, can it be cured? And then Mark answered him and said, well, psychologists can help you, blah, 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 whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So do you guys feel comfortable with that, or do we need to go back and listen to that?
I would like to listen again.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that really quickly because I know both of y'all missed a little part there. Okay, so I'm going back. Here we go.
The course had a strong impact on me. I actually became very scared of being on a plane. When I told my colleagues about it, they just laughed. They couldn't believe that I had completed the flight attendant training, and now I was afraid to get on a plane. What was I supposed to do? I decided to research.
Okay, did y'all hear that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
What was I supposed to do? I decided to,
Yeah.
right? He didn't wait
Yes.
for anybody to respond, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now let's catch the number 7 and we'll see how it's a real question.
It online, and I read stories about people who managed to control their fear of flying. Can it be cured? Actually,
Okay, so right there, that was 2 different people talking. Okay, so the flight attendant said, I read stories about people who dealt with this, and then the other guy said, can it be cured? And then it went back. So did you hear those 2 different people talking?
I'm just insane because very fast when with the
Oh,
answer.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me say it one more time, and you'll see it's 2 different men's voices. Okay.
research online, and I read stories about people who managed to control their fear of flying. Can it be cured? Actually, like any phobia, there's not always a cure for it, but you can decrease its effect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, now I know.
That's kind of tricky because it's
Yeah,
two men.
yeah,
They probably should have done it and one woman to make it easier for people, but they're kind of challenging there.
yeah.
Okay, so that's real and rhetorical questions, and you can consider, if you'd like to consider using a rhetorical question in your next speech at the end of this course. Okay, I'm muting your microphone for you, so it will help you. So you guys are going to be giving a speech about a problem and then some solutions to the problem. So maybe when you're speaking, you can try using a rhetorical question. Sometimes we ask rhetorical questions at the beginning of a speech. Like we might say, have you ever been afraid of flying? And then we just continue with our speech, right? Because we're catching the attention of our listener. So the next thing I want us to do is go over to page 66. And you can see there at the top, we've got pictures of a spider and a needle. And these represent two types of fears, intense fears that people have. So if you're afraid of spiders, it's called arachnophobia. So you might hear somebody say arachnophobia, and that means they're extremely scared of spiders. Now, most people, at least for me, people that I know are afraid of spiders, right? Like if I see a spider right now on my table, I will say, "Oh my gosh," and then I'll try to kill it, right?
No,
But
no,
I
no. Sorry.
oh
Sorry,
well,
teacher, sorry. In my mind, I just think just think, don't kill it.
don't kill it. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Lon. I
I'm
didn't mean to hurt
sorry,
you.
sorry, teacher, sorry.
Yeah, I have a friend too that's like, no, don't kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep all that information to myself. But in the spider, I do get a little bit scared. But I'm not so scared that I start crying or I won't go back in my house
Yeah.
for weeks and weeks. I don't have an intense fear. So when you have a very intense fear, we call that a phobia. Have you guys heard of any other phobias before? You can look at the bottom of the page. They listed some of those. Have you heard of any of these? You can turn your microphone back on.
Just about arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia.
Yes, just about it. Homophobia, xenophobia, acrophobia.
Okay.
With me, just the first time.
First time you heard of this. Well,
Yes.
when I was a kid, only one I heard about was claustrophobia. I have people would say, "Oh, I'm claustrophobic. I have claustrophobia." I would hear that a lot as a child. I think that one is kind of an overused term. It describes people who do not like to be in small spaces. So people who are claustrophobic, they start to get very anxious when they get inside of an elevator that has other people in there.
Oh, yes.
Claustrophobic.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Is
There is
anybody
no-
claustrophobic?
Yes,
I remember that my brother is my brother is claustrophobic.
Okay, so does he get inside elevators or does he just look for the stairs?
No, in elevators.
Oh, so he goes in elevator, but
Yeah.
he doesn't like it, right?
Yeah. He feels very bad in the elevators. he don't use it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
Lon.
Yes. Arachnophobia too. When I
Oh,
was the little girls, I climbed the ladder,
Oh,
and
you
then
climbed the
I
ladder?
fell. Yeah, yeah, and then I fell. That made me hurt a lot. I couldn't walk a week. Yeah, and
Oops, I did the wrong one. Sorry, Lon. I'm trying to mute Lucia's phone microphone because I can't hear you, Lon. Lon, turn your microphone back on. I
yeah.
couldn't hear you. What were you
And
saying
now,
about you climbed a ladder and then you fell and what happened?
yeah, I fell, and then I couldn't read. I couldn't walk a week later.
Oh.
Yes, and then now until now I'm scared. I'm fear with the height.
I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, and I'm afraid of height.
Or you can say, I have a fear of heights.
Yeah, I have a fear of height.
Okay. Yeah, and I do a little bit, but not extreme. Like, for example, at Six Flags, if you've ever been to Six Flags, they have these really high, roller coasters and things you can do like way up. I don't like to go up high. It's not really fun. It's not exciting for me. But at the same time, I don't mind being on an airplane because I'm inside of a space and I don't feel like I'm standing outside, like about to fall. So I don't like being in a place where I feel like I'm about to fall. So that's interesting. Okay. Do you think it's possible to cure a phobia? This is the last question on the bottom of page 66. Do you think it's possible to cure a phobia?
I think that it's possible with maybe psychologists can help the people this time.
Okay, psychologist, what about things like acupuncture or hypnosis, meditation? Do you think those types of things can help?
Just meditation, maybe. Can help.
Okay. And Lan, what about you? Do you think something could help or cure phobias?
Yes, that's exactly meditation. I have many years to meditation until
Yeah.
now, and I feel very good with that.
Okay, what
And
about your fear of heights?
highs, I just don't do it again.
Just don't do it. Yeah,
Yeah. And
avoid
now
it.
I'm just older. I don't need to claim something high like that. That's not
Right,
good for
right.
a woman. Yeah.
And this is true too. Maybe like before you do something that you know is scary,
Yeah.
maybe you can prepare your mind. I think that psychologists help you and meditation and things like that. They can help you prepare your mind for what you're going to do so it will be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so today we're going to do a little interactive activity on the screen here. I have actually given you guys permissions on your Collaborate screen, and what I want us to do is do some interaction, and you guys are going to pull up different things. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, I'm going to close out this screen. On the bottom of your screen, on the right side, I want you to open that control panel, that purple thing down there. And I want you to look for that little box at the bottom that has an arrow in it. Do you guys see that?
Ew.
A blue box?
I'm doing an experiment right now. There should be a box at the bottom of your screen with the arrow. Let me make a picture
Okay.
and show you what it looks like. It's a box and it has an arrow inside. Like that.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Oh, yes, I have.
Okay, click on that. I want to see if you have some permissions here. Do you see, when you click on that, do you see where it says share application screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Share
so
application screen.
what I've done is I've given you permission to share your screen with the class.
Okay.
Because I want to do a little interaction in the class. So who wants to volunteer to share your screen to see if this works? Does anybody want to try it?
But I don't know
Yes.
what is that, teacher. I still.
Okay, so you click on that little box with the arrow, and an option from the top that says share application screen. And actually, when you click it, it will say share your entire screen. And see, I'm sharing my screen right now. So
Oh,
right
yes.
when you click on that, it will have a box over here that appears, and you can click on share my entire screen, and then click the blue button share. Does anybody have that option?
Yes, I have option.
Okay, can you try it? Let's see if it works.
Okay. I am going to click on it.
And then we're going to see
Share.
your screen. We will see your screen. So I hope there's nothing personal on your computer screen that's open.
Oh.
Like
Share.
social security numbers or bank statements. Don't have any of that stuff open.
Okay, I'm gonna share it.
Okay, let's see if it works.
Share from tab application. I'm sharing, but I don't know if you can see my screen.
We can't see it yet. Can you click the blue button share?
Yes.
Oh, we still can't see it.
No, you can see it. No. I'm gonna cancel again. I'm gonna try again. Okay, share application and oh, it's because it's not available for me to share.
Oh, it says that? Oh. Okay, wait a second. Oh, something happened to Lon. She's gone.
Oh,
Okay, so I need to make you guys moderators, I believe, in order to do that. On my side, where I can give you access and control. And I set you guys as a presenter. So let's try something else real quick. Click on the share button at the bottom, and then click on share files.
okay.
It's the fourth.
I just have three options: share audio, share, and cancel.
You have share audio.
Another square that is share, and another square that is canceled, and that's it. You just have three options. Well, I have.
Okay. All right. So I think I understand now. So I need to make you guys as what we call a moderator, which is me. I'm a moderator. I set you as a presenter. You can see on the screen it says your name and it says presenter, but you guys need to be set as moderators. And that way you can do everything I can do.
Okay.
So I think what we'll do, let's see. I think what we'll do is we'll just do it another time. We'll do that next time. Where you guys can share, like basically what I wanted you to do was create a document on your computer and then share the document with the rest of the class. So
Okay.
talk about what you shared is basically what I wanted to do. So we might do that next week.
Okay.
So let me kind of get you set up for it, and then maybe Monday we can try it again. You guys can do some work at home, like creating a document, and then you can share it with the class. This is actually a really good way to give speeches, right? I mean, so far we've done speeches where we just talk to the camera. And I wanted to have opportunity for you guys to learn and practice using materials like I'm using. Like right now I have a PowerPoint presentation. I also can share different documents with you here. Do you guys have PowerPoint on your computers?
Yes, I have.
Okay, yes, I do.
I'm sorry. Yes, I do.
No, I'm just giving you all the correction I can while you're in class.
Thank you, teacher. Yes, I do.
And Lon, what about you?
Yes,
You have PowerPoint.
I do.
Okay,
Yes, I do.
for those students who are not in this class, but you're watching the video, TCC provides Microsoft Office free for each student. You can get Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel to use while you're in class. So if you need that, email me, okay? And I will show you how to get to that. So what we're going to do is I'll show you how to prepare a visual aid, a visual part to a speech. Monday of next week, you guys can practice, like pull up your PowerPoint and then talk to us about it. I think it would be a good way to interact with Blackboard because we can't see each other face to face in a classroom. So we can try this. It might be fun. Okay, so what we're doing, if you look at the top of page 68, we're kind of getting ready for our big topic in this chapter. Remember I said the big topic for the chapter is and give solutions, right? So the top of page 68, they're kind of starting to get you thinking about problems, solutions, and then results of those solutions. So at the top of page 68, they give you 3 questions. What problems does your city have with transportation? Or the second one, think of a problem that you had in your life. How did you solve it? And think of a challenge you might face in the future. What do you need to figure out to solve it? So what this is these are 3 questions. The first one is in the present. The second one is talking about past problem. The third one is future problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is pick a present problem or problem, and then we're going to give suggestions or solutions for the problem, and we're going to predict the results. Okay, So that's kind of our goal for this. And that's going to be our speech that we give at the end of the course in 2 weeks. You guys are going to present a problem and then present solutions and then show the prediction of like the results of that, the effects. So I'm going to show you just a couple of things to get you started, and then we'll just do a really, really informal kind of play around with this a little bit next week. But just kind of to practice using this platform and this PowerPoint and all of that. So we'll do that next week. So look at your screen. It says, what's a good way to set up a problem solution speech? So I have 3 points. First, you want to clearly define the problem. So let's go back to page 68 at the top. Your city have with transportation? Well, I live pretty close to downtown Fort Worth. Do you guys live in Fort Worth or where?
I'm sorry, teacher. I couldn't hear your question.
My question was, do you live in?
Yes, I live in Fort Worth.
I live in Arlington.
Okay, Arlington. That's not too far. Okay, so I live in Fort Worth. We have a transportation problem. And the problem is there's traffic on I-35. I-35 in downtown Fort Worth. Okay, so I always see traffic there on all times of the day. So what I would do if I want to give a speech about a transportation problem, I would present the problem very clearly at the beginning of a speech. I would clearly define the problem. So I might say, the biggest transportation problem in my city is the traffic on I-35. Okay, so that's just an example. So when you're giving a problem solution speech, make sure you clearly define the problem, and then make sure you do the second one. You present 2 or 3 solutions, one at a time. So you give your first solution, then you explain the solution and predict its effects. Then you give the next solution or possible way to solve the problem, and then you explain that and predict the effects. So this right here is how you set up a problem solution speech. So let me show you on the next part what it looks like. Okay, there's 3 parts to the speech: the problem, the solution, and the effect. So you're going to show, why your solution would work. What would change in your city, or what would change to make that problem go away or improve. Okay, so here's an example, and this is what I want you guys to do for homework on your PowerPoint, is this page right here. So you could take a picture of this if you want, but this is kind of to help us get ready to talk, okay? So let's say that I want to use my topic of transportation problem, and my problem is there's too much traffic on I-35. So on the left side, I have 2 solutions, and on the right side, I have 2 predicted results. So you can see the solution on the left goes with the predicted result on the right. Okay, so when I'm talking, I would say, okay, the first solution to the traffic problem is to build a toll road from downtown to Burleson. Okay, do you guys know where Burleson is? Anybody? Do you know where?
No, Burleson.
Okay, Burleson is south of Fort Worth. It's kind of way down there by I-20 and I-35. I don't know. Do you drive, Lan? Do you drive a lot?
Yes, I drive a lot, teacher.
Okay, good. Some of my students don't drive at all, so this would be a challenging topic. So you can look at a map. You'll see my first solution, build. And as a result of building a toll road, more people, now I'm on the right side, okay, of the screen, you can see more people would take the toll road and free up the space on the regular highway. So this is what would happen. This would be the result of following my suggestion. Okay, so I have a solution, and then I talk about the results of that solution. Okay. Can you guys understand me?
Yes, I understand.
Yes, teacher.
I have.
Okay. So you can
I
see
will listen again.
Oh, you listen again. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, my problem is there's too much traffic on I-35 in Fort Worth. So another solution I have for the problem is to add another lane to the highway to maintain 3 or 4 lanes through the downtown area. Because right now, by my house, there's only 2 lanes on the highway. And it did have 3 lanes, and then it goes down to 2 lanes, and that creates traffic. So my suggestion, my solution is to increase the number of lanes. And then as a result of that, there would be less traffic because the road would not bottleneck near downtown. Do you guys know what that means to bottleneck?
No, teacher.
Right here
No,
where it says
yeah.
less traffic because the road would not bottleneck. Okay, let me explain what that means, and then we'll stop for today. Bottleneck, I'm going to give you a visual representation of bottleneck. Okay, so this is I-35. My house is over here, okay? This is the highway, I-35. And then it goes like this, like that, okay? So there are 3 lanes, and then it goes down and it just has 2 lanes, okay? So what happens is all in here, there's lots of traffic, okay? Because everybody's coming down, oh yeah, we've got lots of space. And then all of a sudden, oh no, we don't have a lot of space. So that's called bottlenecking. This is was called the road bottleneck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
So why is it called a bottleneck? Because if you think of a bottle, okay, this part is the neck of the bottle. Okay, and you guys
Okay.
know, yeah. That part up there is the neck. It's called the neck of the bottle. So you can see it gets smaller at the top. That's what's happening over here on the highway. That's what's happening right here. It's a bottleneck. Okay, does everybody get that?
Yes, now it's clear,
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah.
Thank you.
And you see how valuable visuals are? I mean, we should be using this as a class when we're talking, if we want to share information. I want you guys to have the ability to use visuals to help your listeners. So we're going to play around with this next week, or next 2 weeks. Okay? Okay, so we're going to play around with this where I'm going to give you access to bring up your PowerPoint presentation here and to write on the whiteboard if you want to use that. And I think it would be fun for us to do that. We're still just about halfway done with our course, so we've got several weeks left that we can be using all of these resources here. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to do for homework. Okay, is you're going to, I'll write it here. One or two slides on in PowerPoint. Okay, one or two slides in PowerPoint to visualize or illustrate a problem, solutions, and predicted results. Okay. And actually next week we're going to do more practice. You'll do some listening practice next week, and you will actually get to hear a speech that is a problem, a solution, and predicted results. So I don't expect you to give a perfect speech right now, but we're just practicing with the visual part. So if you want to, you can look at page 73 for help. To help you plan for this, page 73. You can see there's a little chart there. Problems, solutions, predicted results. Now, what is going to be your topic for this? What's going to be your topic? So how do you prepare for the PowerPoint? I want you to pick a present problem or future problem. Anything that you want to choose, okay? So it could be transportation. You can go ahead and do that. Like my topic was a transportation problem. Or it can be, like it says on page 68, a problem and any problem in your life. Okay, and it doesn't need to be really personal problem. It could just be, you know, I don't have money to buy a car and I need a car. Or it might be a problem like my roof is leaking, or I don't like my apartment. I'm just giving some examples here of topics. You know, I need to think about solutions with that. It might be something about something you need, or it could be something in your community. There's too much trash on my street. Okay. A few years ago, I had a big problem in my neighborhood, and we had dogs running around everywhere. I mean, and it was like packs of dogs, like 3 or 4 of them together, which is kind of scary because they could really do damage to a person or another animal. And nobody seemed to do anything about it in my neighborhood. And so I came up with a solution of calling animal control and asking them to come, and eventually mow away, but we keep getting more dogs in our area. So we need a good permanent solution, which I think might be like a fence, a good fence around our neighborhood. But, you know, that could be a topic. If you think about something in your neighborhood, you know, it's too noisy in your neighborhood, or, you know, there's so many possibilities. Just any type of problem that you would like to share, and then create something in PowerPoint to show the problem, your solutions, and then the results. What would happen if people took your advice and did those solutions? Okay. Questions about that, about what to do?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Okay, so remember, you do not need to prepare like, okay, my main idea, you don't need to prepare or give a speech. On Monday, we're just going to see if we can share our screen and you guys can show us what you did, but you don't need to have a speech totally ready. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just have fun and do something creative with your slides. Now, so Monday, maybe also Wednesday, depending on who's in class. You will share your screen and your PowerPoint. This Collaborate does not allow you to post and share Word documents, but if you want to do something in Microsoft Word or Excel, you still can do that, and then we'll just share your whole screen. Like, for example, when I'm over here, I'm going to go away from this screen for a second. When I come to share a Word document with you guys, what I do is I share my whole screen, and then I can go to the bottom and click on Word, and I can open a document and share that, right? So that is one way to share. So if you wanted to do something in Word, you can. But PowerPoint has the option on share files. I like this one because share files, I can go to PowerPoint, and you guys will be able to do this next week. I can click on that, and I have my PowerPoint here. You see that I can click on. So we'll just play around with this next week, and I think it's different. Okay, what do you guys think? What do you think about this?
It's a very good idea, teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to do something fun for us so it can kind of be interesting instead of just always looking in the book. So next week I'm doing a lot. We're going to look at problem solutions and doing PowerPoints for that. We're also next week going to look at comparative and superlative adjectives. Okay, so that's coming up. But I'm not giving that for homework. I'm just telling you we'll do that next week. So that's it for today, guys. Ladies, thank you for joining me today. And if you have any other questions, let me know.
Yes.
No, teacher.
I have no question.
No question. Thank
No
you very
questions?
much.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And don't forget about looking at your schedule. If you have questions about what classes to take or you need help, let me know. I can help you with that or help you get to somebody to help you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you for
Okay.
teaching.